Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with me, and as promised, we're going to do a few of these little small journals. Now, these you can use for lots of different things. You can give these to a friend just like they are. You can use them inside your regular junk journals or other kind of journals. You can use them in your mini albums. Now, I put some lace on the inside for a pocket and just tucked a couple of little tags in there. And you can do the same on the back like that. And then I just have scrap paper in here, and you can see I got that one crooked, which doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. But I just have some scrap paper in here, and it helped me use up a lot of my scraps. So I have another pile of scraps here. We're going to see how much of this we can get through today. So we're just going to call this a mass make of small journals. And I'm going to cover some with material, and then I'll cover some with paper. In case you don't have material, that's okay. You can use your paper. Now, I went ahead and just made me a template the size of my open book. If I opened it up, I just went ahead and cut a little template out of light chipboard that was that size. That way I wouldn't have to keep going back and opening that little book up to see what size paper or material that I needed. Now, I'm going to use this material on one this time. I've cut a couple of these. So I'm going to have one for the inside and one for the outside. And it doesn't look like it matters. They're both about the same. So that is my covers. And then here are some more covers that I've just cut out of paper. We're just going to lay that aside for a second. And then I've just got lots of odds and ends. Now on the inside of this, what I'll put in that other one to make it just a little bit stronger rather than just having the light material is I just cut up some of these old file folders that I have, and I'm going to put that on the inside. Now I'm just going to cut it a little bit smaller than what my material is. So I'm not going to cut it the same size. I'm going to cut it a little bit smaller because you don't want it right to the edge, especially if you sew. Because if your sewing machine is like mine, when it gets to something that thick, it will go, nope, not going to do that. Mine will sew through some pretty thick stuff, but not quite this thick. Okay, and it doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be that straight, as long as it will go on the inside between these two pieces of material. So there we go, right there. I'm going to cut it off just a little bit. I don't want it all the way to the edge. And I'll trim it off this way. Like that. And now that looks better. Now you can see my material is not cut exactly straight, and that's okay. I have some little pinking shears, but they're so hard for me to open and close with my thumb problem. So I am going to wait and let my husband do the cutting around them with the pinking shears. I guess that's what you call those, pinking shears. Is that what these are called? I think so. So they cut really good, but they're a little bit strong to open. I have to use this hand to open them up and then that hand to close them. So I'm just going to wait and let him do it. He'll do it for me. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put glue on here and glue this down. And let's see, what are we going to use? Let's just use some of our Fabric. This is Fabri-Fix, which is basically the same thing as Fabri-Tac. Now, I do have some of this coming in that we'll have in the shop. I found a place to get it for pretty inexpensive. So I have some of this coming in. Should be here probably next week. And then we have more bottles that should be here this week. Hopefully by tomorrow. And we have plenty of caps in. Those little blue caps that I just took off of here. Plenty of caps in right now. Right. And I want to thank all of you who purchased the paper pad that we put on sale yesterday. or maybe Thursday. I don't know. Maybe Friday. I don't know what day we put them on sale. Anyway, I appreciate that. They're all gone. Every one of them. Well, except the ones that I kept for myself. I only kept 2 or 3 for myself, though, because I love that paper collection. So I kept a few for myself because I wanted to make some things out of it. But I appreciate all of you purchasing those. And I hope that $2.50 sale helped you out a little bit. I did have someone that complained a little bit about the shipping, because she wanted to order like 4 or 5 pads, and she said the shipping was as much as, if not more than, the paper pads. I don't have control over the shipping. Our shipping is calculated directly through the post office. So whatever they charge me is what you get charged. I don't get anything off of shipping, so that is kind of out of my control. But I only charge what they charge me. So, alright, that's cute, isn't it? And then when it gets cut around the edges, that really will be cute. And see, it makes it just a little bit. It's not really thick, but it makes it just a little bit thicker so that it kind of holds its shape and it doesn't give and, you know, flop around like just 2 pieces of material would, especially this material, because it's not very thick. So I think that is adorable. Now, I am going to sew right at the close to the edge, not real close because I want him to trim that, but I'm going to sew right around it and just do a little stitch like I did on this one. That will just help ensure that even if it ravels a little bit after we do that little cut on it, that it won't ravel past the stitches. So I'm going to go to my sewing machine, put just a little stitch around this, and then I will be right back and we'll finish this up. Okay, there we go. Got that stitched around, and I just did a little straight stitch with some brown thread. Doesn't even show up that much, but it will help keep that from fraying too far. I don't mind it fraying a little bit. I just don't want it to fray too far. Alright, we're going to lay this aside, and then what I'm going to do is go to my scrap pile here, and I'm just going to start pulling out some things that I want to include in there. Let's see, there's my little brown paper bag, music page, dyed paper, and then there's some Tim Holtz tissue paper, some old dictionary page. I pulled out all of my scraps of my dyed papers. We'll use some of those. And there's a piece of just notebook paper. There's some tissue paper, ledger paper that I have dyed, then just some vellum. When I'm going to do something like this, I just go through all of my scraps and I just pull out everything that I think I might use. Use a piece of that. Use a piece of that. Okay. So that looks pretty good for now. So let's start. All I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the smaller pieces, the ones that I know are going to fit in there. And I'll go ahead and fold those because I know they're going to fit. Let's see, I may have to trim that tissue paper off just a little bit. And I think I'm going to cut this. The next thing that I put in, I'll just tear it. But this one, I'm just going to cut. So I know that's going to fit. Then this piece, we know we need to trim off. This one may be okay, looks like. Stick that in there. Let's stick that one down in there. That one we know will be okay because it's a small piece. And then we will tear some book page. Let's see. I think I'll just tear it this way and fold it over. Like that. There we go. And then the Tim Holtz tissue paper, what will we do with it? I think I'll tear it. And it doesn't tear straight, I can tell you that if you start tearing your tissue paper. It does not tear straight. But that's okay, it's not a problem. And then I'm just going to insert it in there, and then I'll just kind of tear that end off, and I'll use that on something else. And then this piece, fold it up, put it on the outside maybe, and then we'll just tear this off. Same with this. Let's see, let's put it this way, I think. Now this is plenty tall enough. We probably need to cut a little bit of the, or tear a little bit of the tallness off, yeah. So let's just tear it about right there. We can always use that piece somewhere else. And that looks like it'll work. Let's tear this a little bit straighter. And we will put this one right there. And then this is just a little brown bag that I tore up and I'm using. And this I'm sure we're going to have to tear down a little bit. Yeah, let's just tear the top a little bit and then a little bit across the bottom. There we go. And then that piece is good. This piece, we know we're going to have to tear it, so let's just kind of tear it right down through there. Use that one in another one. And then we'll tear a little bit off of the end. And then a little bit up here, because we know that's going to probably be the right height, but we don't want one end to be torn and the other one not. So let's go ahead and put these pieces in. And right now I'm just inserting them in. I'm not putting them where they're going to go. I'll probably come back and change these up. And I don't want to get it too thick, because I want it to be able to, and see I've got a little bit sticking out there, so we're going to go ahead and tear that off again. I want it to be able to close without having to have a closure, so I'm not going to get it real thick. Okay, let's see if that works. Yeah, that one works. Okay, and I know this one will be the right size, so we'll just fold that up and stick that in there. And then this little vellum bag that I have just tea-dyed, stick that in there, and we can cut the end out of this on one end and make it a double pocket, so we'll do that. And then I'm just going to tear a little piece of this tissue paper and put that in there. This is kind of a strong tissue paper, so you can actually write on this pretty easy without any problems. We will put that in there and tear it off. Now let's see what happens. Put that in there. Yeah, it's a little bit long, so we'll just tear it a little bit more. Okay. Now I didn't put any scrapbook paper in this one, I don't think. But you can also include your scrapbook paper. Let me just grab a scrap. That's cute. Put that around it. So let's just fold that around. And it doesn't matter that it's a little short. I'm not going to be concerned about that part. Just cut it off. We use that for something else. And then let's see which one of these I want on the front. I think I want this little piece here of vellum on the front. I think that's cute. And to me it goes good with that collection. So let's do that. And we'll put a thick one and a thin one. One that's tall enough and then one that's not so tall in here. Just kind of alternate back and forth. Our tissue right there. Another little piece of brown bag. And then just insert some different little pieces in here. And I kind of put one at the top and one at the bottom, just so that when you sew everything together, that you don't have, you're not catching one and then not catching the other. Okay, and this may be a little bit thick. I may have to use some of these on another. We'll just see. All right, I want to put that in there, and I'm going to save that one for later. Let's see how that works. So we'll insert that in there. All right, I've got just a little bit of this page right here sticking out, so I'm just going to trim that off with my finger trim tool. So how are you guys doing? I hope everybody is well. I know a lot of you have messaged me about the wildfires near your house, and I am so sorry. Good grief. I can't imagine what you're going through. I'm hoping and praying that they get everything under control soon. I know the firefighters are working hard to try to get everything done, all the fires put out and everything, but I tell you, with everything so dry, it's awful. And I know it's very dry out there. I have some friends that are in Colorado right now. They're not near where the fires are, but they said they have driven by there and it's really bad. So I'm praying for all of you guys that everything works out, that you're not evacuated and it doesn't spread any more than what it's already. That's terrible. We're supposed to get some rain today, so hopefully our dryness will not be too bad very much longer. I think Sally is supposed to bring us some rain up. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut the little end out of this bag right here before I get it sewn in. That way, then I'll have a pocket here and a pocket on this side. My little paper there. And then I'm going to take this to my sewing machine and I'm just going to stitch right down the center. Now, if you don't want to stitch, you can glue these. You just have to glue each individual page together, or you can sew them in just like we do our signatures. Just punch a hole in there and sew it, and that would be fine. I'm trying to think. I might just do that one this way. Let's just go ahead and sew it so that you guys will know what I'm talking about. Right, let's take these, and I'm going to make sure they're all folded together in the center. This way, if you don't have a sewing machine and you want them sewn in, then you can do it this way. I'm just going to take my little awl, and I'm going to go somewhere close to the center. It doesn't have to be perfect unless you want to measure. If you want to measure, then you go ahead and do that. And I've just got a piece of rubber mat underneath, just so my needle goes through easier. Or my awl goes through easier. And then I just went up about 1.5 inches. And then I'm going to go down about 1 inch. Woo! About 1.5 inches. It's good if you hold your awl and don't let it get away from you. There we go. Now I'm going to clip these. Helps if I clip them together a little bit so that the pages don't slide. And I'm just going to use some of this waxed thread. This is just a kind of a cream color wax thread, and then I'm just going to go down through the center hole and pull it out, and then we'll come back up to the top one if I can see it. There we go. That went through easy. Pull that up through, and this is a big needle for this little project, but that's what we're using. And then go back down to the bottom, and then go back through there. Oh, there we go. You could use a much smaller needle for this little small book, but this is what I'm using for now. Okay, I think my little computer went a little haywire there for a second, but all I did when I pulled that string back up through is I just tied a double knot. I made sure it was on opposite sides here and tied a double knot, just like we do all the time. And then there's our little booklet. Once this, I'll set these with something heavy on top of them, and once that straightens out a little bit, they'll stay closed. This one is staying almost closed. If not, you can just tie them with a little string or something. Put a little closure on there. Now on the outside, what are we going to put on the outside? What do you guys think? Oh, I wanted to tell you that I did go ahead and load this sheet up today. It is a freebie over on our blog, and the link will be below to the blog. You can go over there and download that. A lot of people had asked could they have a copy of that, and that is no problem at all. Let's just put a little piece of this on there, maybe like that, and then let's just tear around this little butterfly piece here. This is just a little piece of ephemera. I think it's in one of our kits. I can't remember which one. And I think it might be ours. It could be somebody else's. I purchased quite a few of the digital kits from different people, so who knows. So just grab this and put it on the outside. And I think I want a little piece of book page, just a little piece to put under here. Just tear us a little piece off. It is getting really, really dark here. I guess Sally is moving in. We're not on the coast, but you know, we're in central Alabama, which it usually comes right up through where we're at. We usually are Tornado Alley right here. I just hope we don't get any tornadoes off of this. Alright, we'll put that there, and then what else do you think we can put down? Maybe I'm looking over here to see what else we've got. Maybe a little piece of vellum down, just to make a little cluster on the front. And that's something that you can or don't have to do. It doesn't matter. I mean, you decorate yours like you want. I like little clusters on mine, but that's just me. And I had a little word right here somewhere. There we go. This is one of Tina's word labels, and it just says notes. And I'm going to trim it down just a little bit so that it won't be quite so big. And then I'll go ahead and ink around it. And I'm just using vintage photo ink. And I think we might put that just like that. So I'm going to ink just a little bit on my tissue paper. Just a little bit. So you guys let me know if you are in the fire zone up in, you know, out in Colorado, and I think there's some fires in Washington. You guys let me know. I want to make sure that we add you and your family and everybody around to our prayer list. And I just like to know that you're okay. Okay, we'll put that there. And then I'm just going to bring this down here. And I'm just using my Fabrifix. There we go. Put that there. Put a little piece of this book page right here. So you can mix paper and material. It doesn't hurt anything at all. Then where shall we put this? I think we'll put this over that way, over there. Let's put it just about like that. Get it a little bit straight. There we go. Put a little bit more under my doily here. And this is just a doily that I dyed with probably some ink, looks like, maybe. There we go. Now, what do we want to put on here? I'm going to put a little piece of lace on here. Just going to grab some of our lace. Let's see, do we want to run a little piece down here? Or do we want to put a little piece here? I think we'll put a little piece up through here. I think that'd be cute. So let's do this. Put some Fabrifix on here. Whoops. Try not to get it all over your book. Glue the whole book together. And I let it hang off just a little bit. And where's my little helper here? Press that down. Trim that off. Cute. Okay. Got a little overzealous on the glue there, so now let's put a little piece of trim there. Where is my trim? And we do have more of this black bling on order. It's just not got here yet. It is running late. I think everybody decided to start ordering it when we did. Because it was plentiful, and now I have to wait on it before I can get my orders. Okay. So there we go. There is that little book. I think that is super cute. And then you open it up and you've got all kinds of little, oops, pages in here. And you can put little pockets in here with your lace and your trim. I'll probably go back and add that. Look at that. So it's just little notebooks. That's the little lace pocket that you can put in there. And then just tuck things down in there. And this one is stitched on my sewing machine. And then this one is put in there with the thread and needle. Isn't that cute? I think both of them are really pretty. All right, let's do one with some paper. We want to use up these scraps, don't we? So let's do one with paper. Now I'm going to tear another piece of this. This is the dictionary paper. That right there. I love little pieces like this, just little scrap pieces that you have laid aside because you think they're too little for one thing, but you can definitely use them on something like this. Let's see, there's a little book page that's got some dyeing on it that one of you guys sent me. Now it's a little brittle, but I think it will still work. I think it'll work okay. Put that there. Let's go ahead and I'm just going to cut some of this paper bag. And I want to put it in as a pocket, I think. Double pocket. So that's just a short little paper bag, and we'll tuck that in, and that can be a double pocket on both sides. So then let's see, just grabbing through these scraps over here. Let's fold that and then tear a piece of that off, and any of them that are too long we'll just come back and tear them off. This is just a great way to use up all of those scraps. Now I know, don't say you don't have them. I know you do. I know you're just like me. You've got them. They may be in your hoard vault, but you have them. Let's use them. There we go. Put a piece of that. Got this little piece here that I cut a little scrap out of. These are just some of my watercolor dyed pages. So we will fold that up that way. And what else do we have? There's a little green piece. Make sure that we trim that off a little bit. This is one of those pieces of that dot paper. That there. Let's see. I don't know how tall this one will be, but we'll see in a minute. Let's see. Let's just tear the white off of this and we can use this scrap. This was one of Tina's printables, I believe. Shabby Dabby Doodah. Her printables are about the only ones that I can remember where they came from. And I guess it's because I buy so many of hers. Alright, there's another. And then, let's see. I got this from one of you guys. So we will tear a piece of this. Go ahead and tear the side, that white part off right there. And if you wanted to, you could just go through your scraps and get all of your pages kind of ready like I'm doing here. You wouldn't have to cut them down to size until you get them all ready to go. And then you could always tear them down. And then you can just make your covers and you're ready. You've got all of your basic parts done. Let's go ahead and put in, this is a piece of book page that I just dyed with some watercolor. Put that in there. And I'll go ahead and tear off the top of that. Alright, let's see what we have. I think on this one for the front cover, what will I use? I think I'll use this blue for the very front. Not the front cover, but the first page, I should say. Put that in there. That one there. You don't have to have paper that is printed on both sides. If you've got paper that's not printed on both sides, that's a plus, because then you can write on the opposite side. I'm going to go ahead and tear the top of this just because the bottom is torn. And then this one I'm pretty sure is going to have to be torn out here. And we will put this in there. And then I like to put another strong one. If you have a weak piece of paper, just put you another strong one right in front of it. And go ahead and tear that off a little bit because I think we're probably going to have it torn. Put that dictionary page in, and then that little page. This is getting kind of thick. I'll probably save these for later. I'll put my little pocket right there. Okay, it has started raining now. So it has begun. Alright, let's see what we want to use for the cover on this one. I'm not sure if that will be wide enough for the cover. Nope. Let's try a different one. Maybe this. That's pretty. See if that will work. And I have just cut these little pieces, not necessarily the same size of this paper, of this material, but I have just cut them about, let's see what size they are. This is 4.5, and then they are 7, 4.5 by 7. So they're about the same size as the material ones. But see, that works great right there. And if you have some that are a little bit smaller, which I do, I have some that are smaller, then we will make some smaller notepads. All right, I've got this that's going to have a little pocket at the top of each one of these. So I just want to cut out a little circle up here. Let's see. Just so that we can tell that we're going to have a little pocket. I don't know if this is going to cut it or not. Now, let's put a piece of paper behind it. This paper bag is pretty thin, so I'm just putting a piece of paper behind it so that it will cut through there. Okay. Those went everywhere. Then we'll put that right there. And see, we've got, I'll put it down close to the bottom, and now we've got 2 pockets on either side. And there's our cover. So I'm going to stitch around this, and then I'm going to stitch down the center, and then that will be our cover made. So let me do that. All right, we got that stitched. I was watching my little hummingbirds out the window and ran completely off of my material here, but that's okay. Not a problem. We're not going to worry about it. These are just little handmade notebooks. Handmade notebooks. All right, so I think, yeah, that's the front. Right there. And I put a little, I put our scissors there so that I can pick out what we're going to put on the front. Oh, that rose is pretty. I know it doesn't have red exactly in the paper, but I think the rose looks pretty there. So let's find something else that we want to put on. Let's put a little bit of this Tim Holtz. This is his tissue paper with the music notes on there. See if that looks okay underneath the rose. Maybe if it ran this way, it would. That's cute, I think. Let's see. We want a little piece of book page, maybe. So what do you think? Okay or not okay? Let me know. I tell you what, I may tear a little piece of this pink off and put it under there. Maybe that would tie it in a little bit better. Let's see if it does. All right. That, and then maybe that, and then that. What do you think? What do you think? I think I'm going to tear the book page off a little bit. It's a little bit too wide. And so let me know, what do you think about that? Does that look okay? Does it not look okay? Do I need to put something different? I don't know. This one I'm undecided about. Got so many things I want to put on there. Or we could come in with this little piece. This is more pink, like the background. Whoops, it's upside down too. Now I haven't trimmed this all the way out. We can come in with that. I think the pink looks better, don't you? Yeah. Okay, let me find. Let's get these little scissors and trim that out. Make it look a little bit more like a stamp. Now I'm thinking I may take that pink away. I don't think I need it with this on there. I'll put one of these a little bit higher than the other, like that. Then I'm thinking, let's grab something. What are we going to grab? Let's look at our butterfly book and see. Now I don't have all my butterflies in here yet. Let's see if we have a butterfly that would look cute on there. Oh, I think that one would look good. Okay, I'm going to ink this up a little, and then I'm going to glue it down. And this is going to be another one finished. And I like to ink around the butterflies that have that little bit of white around them, just to cover that up. That's all I do. And then this, we'll put a little ink on here. And then the book page. And then we will glue this down. So you can take lots of time and decorate each one of these up elaborately, or you can just put a few little embellishments on, like we're doing. And you won't have to take quite so much time, and it'll still look really pretty. Just depends on how you're going to give them out or how you're going to use them. If I was going to give this just directly to a friend, then I'd probably take more time and do a little bit more to it. But putting it in my journals, I think this is going to be good enough. And I am going to come back with just a little piece of pink, I think, right there. Right there. Just make that come up a little bit higher than the other one. Then we'll come back in with this. And I'll put it right there. That's about right. Bring our little butterfly in. I'm going to glue him completely down because we are going to put this in a pocket. Just like that. Then I want to put some trim on here. Thinking what kind of trim I want to put on here. Could put a little piece of that across the bottom. That's cute. I like that. Let's do that. Oh, I just drug my scissors through that. That's not good. Press that down. Getting glue everywhere. And now we're going to bring in a little piece of trim. And let's bring a little piece of this. I've got to refill my bottle here. Piece of this down here. Cute. I like that. What do you think? Think it's cute? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and make another. Let me grab my cover first and then we will kind of go from there. I think this is a pretty cover. This will make a beautiful one, and I don't think we'll do very much to the cover of this at all. It already has that beautiful flower on there. Whoops. So that will work in there. Tim Holtz tissue paper. There. This is just a little printable. Put that on there. To tear my tissue paper down a little bit more. Just a little piece of dyed paper. A little piece of ledger paper. Another little scrap. So I think I'm going to start off with this. Then I'll bring my bag in there. Maybe that piece. That one. Book page. Okay, so that looks about right. So we'll stitch around it and then stitch these in, and there is another one completed. Oops. There we go. Then I thought, what do you think? I thought about putting this piece right there. I don't know if that would take away from our image or add to. Ooh, I kind of like it. When I look in the screen, I kind of like it. So we're going to put it down through there. That might not be something that anybody else would do, but you know, I'm not anybody. I do things different. And I like it. Okay, we're going to put it right there. You can still see the stitching, but it's just got a little bit more of an embellishment. Ooh, see, I like that. And that is something that you guys gave me again. Lots of things I use what you gave me, and I'm going to use a pink butterfly. Ooh, better set that up. It's coming out too fast. And I don't think I'm going to put anything under the butterfly because this has kind of that script in the background right there, so I think that will be just fine. Ooh, I like that. Right, now I do think that I'm going to grab just one of our little words or a little number, maybe a little number. Yes, let's put one of these little numbers up there. Tina, I don't know what I would do without you doing your numbers, girl. I love them. You guys know I'm a numberaholic. For any people, any of you new people, and welcome to everyone new, by the way. If you don't know me very well, I love numbers. I'm a numberaholic, and that's in my life and in my crafting. Love, love, love numbers. They fascinate me. So we're going to put that there. And yes, I do have a tutorial on this ephemera binder. It is always linked below, so you can check that out. Then I think I'm just going to put a couple of little pieces of bling on here, and that's going to be it. We will call this finished. Ooh, got a little bit too much glue there. Oh, I just love butterflies, and I love them with that black bling in the center. Now let's see, do we want a piece of bling over here or not? A little piece over here, maybe? Yeah, let's do. I love bling, so I'm a bling-aholic as well. I like numbers, and I like bling. So where shall we put this one? Up here, close to the top, maybe? Kind of balance everything out. Oh, I love that. Look at that. Let's hold it this way. Isn't that pretty? That is cute now. And see, I've just got them sitting under here, and that helps them lay flat. Okay. I think, let's see, what time we got? I think I might do one more, and then that will be all the time that we're going to have on this mask make. Even though I've still got tons of scraps over here, but I don't want to wear your patience too much. I'm just showing you what you can do. Just drag out your scraps, and you can use your scraps to make beautiful little notebooks, little journals. Because I have used a lot up already. Let's see, I'm going to tear this like this. And then all the little tiny scraps that I'm keeping over here, I can make some snippet rolls with. Like these little pieces, I'll make snippet rolls. All right, let's find our cover first. So what shall we use for the cover? I've got this piece, got that piece. Ooh, I've got that piece. That would be pretty. You want to use that one? We'll get half of the butterfly. Let's just use it. See, I thought I was going to get completely finished with all of these that I had the covers cut out for. This one will be a little bit narrower than the other ones, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. They don't have to all be the same size. You use what you have to make these. I'm going to lay my covers over there. Cute. I love using up these scraps. Love it. Alright. Got a little book page here. Oh, that's one of the older ones. We'll have to keep that one. Those older ones crack real easy, so I'm not going to put those in there. I will use those on snippet rolls. Let's do this. There we go. And, okay, I'm just laying the Look at this piece of paper. This is one that I dyed with watercolor, metallic watercolor. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? I think it is. I think it's very pretty. Ooh, I like that. Okay, then we have a little music page. Tear that off. See, all of these will go on snippet rolls. We'll put those right over there. There's another one that I've dyed with watercolor. And I will try to remember to link that video below. It's very easy to dye your pages with watercolor. Very, very easy. Let's see. Here's some tissue paper. Let's tear this down. Save that. Okay, we may need to tear off right here. And you can even leave your pages hanging out if you want. I mean, you don't have to trim them off where they don't show like mine are. Here's our little bag. We're going to put a little... This is just one of those little paper bags that we have. I think we made a couple little projects out of them not too long ago. And these are just some scraps that I had left. And you can write on those very easy. So I like to use them. Let's see what else we got over here. We got a little piece of book page already folded. We got a little pink piece here. Just fold that over and tear it in half. That should work. It may be a little bit wide. We'll just tear it down this way. And what else we're going to use? I've got another little piece of page there that's already torn that we will use. One right here that we will use. Just tear it down out here a little bit. This is the fun part, just going through your scraps and pulling out things and using them up. Alright, let's see how many we have. I think I'm going to use that for the very front. I like that. And then we'll kind of just start inserting here. Put one of those in the tissue paper. And that. And that. What else? Let's put a piece of that in there. Let's make sure we get it the right way up, maybe. I don't even know if I got those other ones the right way up. I didn't check them. And another little book page. And it doesn't matter. If you don't get them the right way up, don't fret. Don't fret about it. Okay, I've got a lot of music page in here, so I'm going to lay that one aside. And I think I'll use a little piece of this. Let's see. It's going to be sideways, but who cares? That's okay with me. Is it okay with you? It's okay with me. Yes, I've had lots of caffeine today. Alright, I'm going to trim that off because I know that's going to be too long. I'm going to trim that one off. Now let's see. Yeah, we still have a few that are sticking out. So what I'm going to do is just go through here and I'm going to tear the ones down that look long. Don't have to be perfect. I like the torn look. Some of them can be shorter, some of them can be longer. Don't have to worry about it. Some of them can be really torn weird, like that one I just did. This one we can. Ooh, that's a tough paper. Tear that like that. Tear this down a little more. That one should be okay. This one will tear it down. You ever clip your fingernails off and then you're like, you can't get a hold of anything? That's at the point I am right now. I clipped them all this morning, and now I can't get a hold of anything. Everything slides through my fingers. Okay, so that's just some little scraps we can throw down there. Now, there's a nice little book. Let's make sure that we get them all kind of sorta even. They don't have to be even. Just, I like to just kind of line them up differently. That will work right there. Any of those little tiny pieces that are still sticking out, we can always clip those once we get this made. But look at that. So let's stitch again around it and across here, and we've got another little book made. Now you can do this like we did that one where you do the stitching with your needle if you want to. Doesn't matter. Either way is fine. Alright, I'm going to clip those right there, and that's going to be how I'm going to put those together. So I'm going to stitch around this and I'll be right there. Alright, we have put this one together, and what I did is I went ahead and I stitched a little piece of lace on the inside so that it would just show on the outside like that. Just something different. Whoa, picking up everything here. Just something a little bit different. So there is that. And now, do we want to put anything else on there? I may want to put a little bit on here, but not much, because that's already pretty, just like it is. So what do you think? Let's see. Okay, I'm thinking that right there, and I'm just going to leave it and make a little pocket out of it. And then I'm just going to make a little tag and tuck down in there. I'm going to try to find a piece of paper that's a little bit thicker than just the regular printer paper. We'll tuck that down in. Let's see. I have still got enough scraps over here to probably make 5 or 6 more of these. You know, here's a little tag on this, and this is something that one of you guys gave me. It was a printout from you, and this already has a little tag on there that has those same colors in it. So I think we'll use this. Let's see if it's big enough or if it's too big. I'm going to trim it out. See if that's going to be about right. Oh yeah, that'll work. Just right there, that's going to work. Okay, let's see what else. These butterflies on here are really pretty, but I think they may be a little bit large. So we will go to our book here. Let's go to our butterfly book, see what we've got. We could do one of these, just a little small one. We've already got one butterfly right there, so we could do just a little small one right there. I think that's what I'll do. That works. So let's ink around these just a little bit, and I would probably ink with pink if I had it down here, but I don't have it down where I can get a hold of it, so we're just going to use this. Now this tag I would probably back, and I probably will go ahead and back it with something a little bit later, but I'm not going to worry about it right this minute. So I'm just going to put that down in the corner, down close to the bottom, like that. And then this little tag, just going to tuck in there. We'll put just a little bit of ink on this butterfly, and I think this is one of the Tim Holtz. It's kind of stiff like the Tim Holtz ones. And we'll put it right there. Press that down. And then what shall we use? Let's put just a couple of little pieces of bling right in the center of our butterfly, and then maybe just one little piece right at the top of our tag. And I may not even use that. Let's see, what do I have over there? No, I'm going to use the black. I have a different one over there, but I think the black will match better for right now. Then just a couple right there. Cute. And that is that. I'm not going to do a lot to that because I love all these flowers up here. So I may go back around this tag with some pink to try to bring in that pink there. But other than that, I don't think I'm going to do a lot to that. I think that is just like I like it right there. Right, so here are all the tags that we have made. Let me clean my desk off a little bit so that you can see them. Tags. This is all the little journals that we have made. Look at this. Cute. And of course, you know where this one's going. This is going in my journal that I made that's this same color. But look at this. Are they not cute? Now that, we just made in a matter of no time. So you could bring in all kinds of materials and scraps and different things and make tons of little journals. They would be so, so cute. So grab out all your scraps and all your little pieces of ephemera and start playing around and make a lot of these little notebooks for, like I said, you can do anything with these. You can give them away as gifts, just like they are. You can put them in your journals. You can include them in your mini albums, your scrapbooks, anything like that. Or just stick one in your purse so that you'll have something to jot notes on when you need to. Alright guys, that is it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed this mass make. That's mass make if you ask me. We did quite a few, and we've got lots of different things now for our journals. I had a couple of questions that asked would I do a complete flip through of this when I got all of my butterflies in there, and yes, I will. I will do a flip through when I get all the butterflies in there, and the bees and the birds. I will do a flip through of that. Also, don't forget that this page, it has the little ephemera on it. This page is up over on our blog now so that you can go over and print that off if you want to. And we will talk to you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. And we will talk to you guys later.